Yo, welcome back to another episode of Vass Reacts. Today, yeah, first of all, I miss y'all. Hope y'all miss me. But we got top 10 most legendary supporting character fights in anime. Um, Shout out to VinnyTube. I don't know if he watched my videos. He's a way bigger channel than me. I watch his videos faithfully. Even the ones I'm not reacting to, I watch them faithfully. So, top 10 most legendary supporting character fights. Sasuke. Anyone from Naruto better be in this list. Anyone from One Piece better be in this list. Don't judge me if that's all I know is the big three. Leave me alone. But I haven't been watching anime a lot. Been watching more of like The Boys, Stranger Things, Resident Evil. You know, I need actual time to sit and watch anime. I like to, know what's going on. I don't like to skim through the episodes without knowing what's going on. So let's get right into it. Okay, it seems like Zoro well is in this list. It's a big One Piece spoiler. I'm not even this far yet, yeah? Okay.
I feel that anime that stand out completely on the foundation of solely the protagonist are few and far between. That's doubly true for a lot of action shows. For every cool protagonist you have those mentors, those rivals, those friends and whatnot.
Busting out my skin.
Shay? For me, the best action/battle titles are those that have the side characters that get their time to shine. So today, I'm going to be giving the spotlight to these kinds of characters. Here are my top 10 side character fights in anime. Some are amazing in the context of the story.
Now, the side characters, don't get me wrong. Yo, what is wrong with my arm? Oh. Now, the side characters do have some better fights than the main characters. Let that sink in.
Help shed light on these characters in more subtle ways.
They should be called, their name should be called the show.
Let's begin.
Stunt number 10, Bleach. Kenpachi versus Norita. Don't kill me in the comments for this one.
Kenpachi always struck me as a captain.
I can't say her name. His name.
Fight with Ichigo and insane bloodlust make him very memorable. The weakness of that kind of character is that the character eventually stops getting ample development, becoming one note with a lack of characterization.
Yep.
Now, that's not exactly the case for Kenpachi, and while he's got many moments that show his background and character, one of the most iconic ones, at least in the anime, come in the form of battle. How appropriate. Kenpachi seems to be one of those characters who have plot armor unless they're facing the protagonist or main antagonist. So it's a breath of fresh air to see Kenpachi struggle in this battle against the Espada. It's an appropriate way to insert more of his backstory and to show that he's got more tricks up his sleeve, even though literally switching to swinging with two hands feels so simple. Still, for a Kenpachi fight, this is the best one we have to date.
Just wait till the manga, the Stalin Yale Blood Well arc get animated. Everything in that art will blow the regular season of Bleach out of the water. But Kenpachi, one of the best characters in Bleach, hands down. To me, I like how he's so tough and how, like he just described, his bloodlust is way past anything. You see, as you just saw, Ichigo stabbed him in his face and he still kept going. Come on now. Look at him. Kenpachi bloodlust beats anybody.
Number 9 is Katsura versus Shokaku.
Gintama. I heard people been telling me this is good. I haven't watched it. I've been seeing clips, but I haven't watched it.
Some of the strongest side characters. It's just appropriate for one of the best shonen anime out there. I can pick from so many fights, but I think it's about time we give Katsura some shine for this video. And what a journey it's been for Katsura. But in case you need a reminder that this is one badass, we have his fight against Shokaku as proof. This for me is Katsura's...
He's fighting a monkey? Oh, it's a white monkey, never mind.
With him returning to his ingenious and badass ways in combat. The finish is also a good mix of serious and comical, with the fight being decided with a headbutt of all things. Then again, the battle has been decided before that. Like Kenpachi's fight, this one serves both to establish Katsura as a combatant and add more depth to him as a character. It's these kind of fights that are the best, and I've grown to like and respect Katsura a lot more after this one.
Bro, y'all don't know. I got a whole list of anime I gotta watch.
Zoro versus Killer.
Zoro. Okay, yeah, Zoro get his picks as my top 10 supporting characters or side characters.
who's your favorite One Piece side character? As far as I know,
Zoro.
a lot of One Piece
Of
fans
course.
can't get enough of
No.
Zoro.
Robin. Oh. Robin. Oh my god.
How can they get tired of him with him being one of the coolest members of Luffy's squad? That largely has to do with how he gets the best looking fights.
Zoro just cool.
Techniques, and this fight with Killer ended up being a
My real favorite side character.
does
Oh.
an excellent job in showcasing his resourcefulness as a fighter intertwined with his bloodlust and
Oh
hunger
my
for the
gosh.
intensity of battle, all while giving us amazing modern One Piece animation. With the way things were presented, we got our feelings dragged deep into this fight. Much like Gintama before it, One Piece does have a knack of being funny or cartoony before shifting into high gear and giving
That's
us
true.
fights with presentation that you'd expect
Is-
from a
is
UFO
this
TV
Wano?
show or something like that.
Like,
So
I haven't got
we've
this
got a
far.
lot of awesome fights, but this one will have to do for the list.
I haven't got this far, but I know One Piece is about the action when it needs to be about that action. But I haven't gotten this far though. I think the animation gotten way better. I can say for that.
Before we move on to the next entry, let me ask you a question. Ever wonder what it's like to play a mobile MMO while enjoying all the
Okay, W sponsorship. I don't want to knock his bag, but we're gonna get around into the video.
And speaking of UFO table, we have Lancer versus Assassin
Fate
in our
Night.
7th slot.
I haven't even finished Fate, but I know Fate good.
Animation quality
I don't know where to
and
pick up
music
at, though.
direction have long become staples of UFO table productions. Give them the budget of a theatrical production, and you get insane bouts like this one. Granted, I've often talked about other Heaven's Feels fight like the Ryder versus Saber one from the 3rd film, so I decided it's time to give Lancer his dues. After all, I feel he's a grossly underrated character thanks to the memes and always dying. He still dies in this one, but at least he goes down with more fight than we've ever seen before. The Wild Chase sees him give Assassin all he can throw, and in a regular match, Lancer would have easily gotten the win here. Unfortunately, he is Lancer, and he's up against one of the driving forces for the antagonist side, so we know how that goes. Still, the showing he put up, along with UFO Table's masterful work in creating this fight for us to feast our eyes on.
Oh, he
earned
phased
this
through
moment
that shit.
on
Oh,
my
I
list.
thought he was gonna die. Oh yeah, no, you did. No, yeah, you're gone.
At number 6, we have Vector versus Berkoli.
So online,
Isekai titles, it's often the main hero who gets all the shine. In a large part of SAO, this is proven true.
is
That's
Sword Art Online really good? Be honest with me. Someone be honest with me, please. I've been shitting on Sword Art Online ever since it came out. Ever since we found out the girl was actually in the hospital the whole time playing the game, and Kirito went to go meet. I've been shitting on it ever since. The concept was cool, but the story was so ass. I haven't watched Sword Art Online, so any Sword Art movie, OVA, new season, new series. I haven't watched none of that shit. Is that shit really good? Somebody be honest with me in the comments.
more evident than what War of Underworld's climax ended up amounting to. However, in the same arc, we do get to see the Integrity Knights pull
this
their weight.
animated by the same people who made
Their
Fate.
leader,
I mean, it looked
Berkoli,
like the
fights
same.
leader to leader as Berkoli fights Dark Emperor Vector in what was, to a lot of people, War of
Starving.
Underworld Part 2's high point. He finds himself grossly outmatched but can clutch a win against the Dark Emperor himself by showing off the full power of his super broken sword. What brought this fight up was the huge bump in art and animation quality. SAO's great in the presentation department, and things went up a whole notch for the WOU fights, this being the most striking example of them.
A slasher pass. These niggas cutting time. He cut time.
Is Doppio versus
Okay,
Naruto.
this is a yes. This is a good one. I'm mad. Okay, Risotto. I wanted to see more of his stand. Metallica. I want this. No, I don't think it was Metallica. Okay, but I just know Risotto. I wanted to see more use of his stand, cause that's his shit. OP. And Doppio, which is actually Diablo. Yeah, this was a good fight. I said season 5 of JoJo was one of the best seasons. Well, one of the best parts. Yeah, this was literally one of the best parts of JoJo's ever.
JoJo's known for its frankly insane fights, and even the side characters get to join in on the fun too. Don't you get excited to know what happens when you put some of the side characters' powers, many which are far more interesting on paper than the ones carried by heroes, against each other? Here we have Metallica versus King Crimson.
Okay, yeah, it is Metallica.
Risotto and Doppio, respectively. The fun thing about this fight is that despite King Crimson's very fearsome reputation, Doppio plays the underdog for the most part of the encounter. Well, it's just a part of King Crimson, but still. The battle between Risotto's iron manipulation and one of the most fearsome stands is a sight to behold. A third stand, Aerosmith, ends up being the deciding factor in the battle that was sorely going in Risotto's favor. In the end, it's more of what you'd expect from JoJo fights. A lot of stuff happening and the anime team having the time of their lives hamming it up.
Nah, how he killed the Bakio, bruh. That shit was crazy. I might go back and rewatch it. Go and win. This is one of the best JoJo seasons.
King Bradley versus Scar is rank number 4.
Mr. Bradley himself. I know about you, Mr. Bradley. I heard you being with Demon Time.
Scar's always been an enigma, a great rival character to follow, and one who never fails to make an impact. That's why it never came off as strange for me to have him face off against probably the most overpowered homunculus. Against King Bradley, Scar really had to work for the win, putting out all the stops, and even then it's barely even enough. We've got a lot of good exchanges, with one of the more notable parts of it from a character perspective being Scar using alchemy to reconstruct matter, breaking his own code as an Ishvalan. Scar has gone through some big character developments as the series has gone on, and along with those moments comes this amazing fight, which feels like Scar's last hurrah as a fighter. He had his last hurrah in one of the most glorious ways possible, taking down Wrath himself.
This is FMA Brotherhood. I gotta give this another watch again too.
The first slot in my top 3 belongs to Rengoku.
Bro, I gotta keep up on some anime, bro. It's making it seem like I don't watch shit at all. Bro, I've been so busy. I don't even be having the time to even watch anything. I heard Rengoku got put into a donut.
Time that we got to know him, Rengoku sure made the most of it to give us a mentor character to remember. He started the train arc being a man of mystery, and while he seems quite nice and jovial, it isn't until later when we see how amazing he can be. Sure, overcoming Enmu's dream is one thing, but I know we're all here for the Akaza fight, an epic conclusion to a movie that sees 2 top fighters trade blows with such intensity that no one else can keep up.
But ain't this show that made him a donut?
To love Demon Slayer 4 and more. Despite everything, Rengoku still can't beat Akaza, but there's still triumph in defeat. Moral victories at that too. Danjiro sure felt that way, and I'm sure a lot of us do too. Demon Slayer does a good job in crafting endearing characters in limited space, and thanks to his cool, friendly attitude as well as this visually spectacular fight, Rengoku ends up being proof of that. In second place, Obito
Yes!
versus Kakashi.
This is well deserved. One of the best Naruto fights ever. This got any fight in Naruto beat. The same year this fight came out, when any other anime dropped or any fight that happened, this got every fight that came out that year beat. I kid you not. This fight was emotional. The storytelling, the hand-to-hand combat, the animation, the music, oh my god, this fight got every fight beat. This is literally one of my best, favorite fights in Naruto. Easily top 3.
This feels like the culmination of a storied rivalry that kind of runs parallel to Naruto and Sasuke's intertwined tale. It barely has enough screen time to compete with the latter in terms of build-up and legacy, but I knew from the moment their flashback was shown that the two would somehow find themselves at odds in combat. I didn't buy Obito's supposed demise completely, and thank goodness I'm right, because this fight is insane. We've seen how
easily
powerful
top
Obito
3
is as
fights.
Toby, being the catalyst for a lot of the key moments in the series' history, and to see him finally breaking out the Toby disguise and settling things with Kakashi once.
And he started a war with a female. Come on now, you started a war with a female. Like, they ain't even like you. Let's think about that.
Overall was so hype. Also, propping the fight up.
Yeah, but easily top 3 though. Easily top 3.
Important battle in the entire series. Despite not having as much on-screen history as the top fights in Naruto, the actual fight and anticipation more than made.
And then when his future, his present self dragged his past self back, Man.
treated to two blitzing
Lad, that
to
shit
work
was
around
hard.
each other's abilities.
Easily top 3, bro. Easily top 3.
Finally, the best side character fight I have
Of
is
course.
Netero versus Meruem.
Bro, he's biased for Hunter x Hunter. You can't tell me that. This is the second video Hunter x Hunter's been #1. Bro, he's biased for Hunter x Hunter.
This is a fight that a lot of people remember Hunter x Hunter for, but is it a hot take if I were to say that in terms of a pure fight standpoint, the show has a lot of other candidates to take the crown? No, that's not a shot at the fight itself, but there are other impressive battles in this excellent shonen title. Why is it #1, and why did I choose it for this list then?
Because you're biased.
Meruem barely fights back, and as a battle, it sure feels relatively anticlimactic given the people involved, but I think that that's the beauty of it. It's what made the fight feel original, something that Hunter x Hunter does so well with its track record in subverting shonen tropes. It also does a great job of building up Netero, adding the dimension to his character.
This could have been #2. Kakashi versus Obito could have been #1. Biasness.
Itself is great presentation-wise, as with most of the remake Hunter x Hunter, but the best fights I feel are the ones with emotional stakes that help flesh out characters. And with that regard, this is one of the best examples out there, making it my #1 side character fight in shonen anime. So those are my top 10, but I've still got several fights that I'm considering giving a shout out. Still, I'm more interested in hearing what you think. Comments and feedback for this video are always much appreciated, and I'd love nothing more than to see what your top 10.
Well, congratulations almost on 1 million subs. You're biased for Hunter x Hunter. Second video I saw, Hunter x Hunter. Hunter x Hunter has been #3, 2. I mean, it's been #1. Kakashi versus Obito could have been the one, but hey, it's your video. Make sure y'all go subscribe to him, show him some love, like, comment, subscribe to me, follow my Twitch, link will be in the description. See y'all next time.